Okay, so this is a video on why I think the black pill philosophy is flawed. So just a quick rundown on the basic pills. Blue pill is just like delusional. Red pill is you're semi-enlightened but hopeful because you think that you can change things or change your circumstances. Black pill is basically being enlightened to the truth, and it's the hardest pill to swallow because if you aren't born a certain way, then your life is basically, it's over, which is their phrase. So it's the least hopeful, and if you try to be hopeful, it's considered coping. So their thoughts on bones specifically is basically your quality of life is determined by your bones, or at least your life is the positive impacts of your life, of people having a positive life, is solely dependent on having good bones, or what is perceived as good bones. However, my argument is things aren't as black and white as this. My plan is to introduce a new pill, and I'm calling it the gray pill. And it's because of this phrase, not black and white. Things aren't black and white. The middle ground is gray. I don't think being delusional is at all appealing. And black pill just didn't seem to fulfill everything. Didn't seem to give me all the answers to everything. And black pill uses a lot of science, which is why it's considered not delusional and purely empirical. However, like being an empiricist, you can find other solutions, or at least there's more there is more to bones than we may think. First of all, we have to recognize that there are genotypes and phenotypes. So your genes express your bones. Your genes create the code for your bones. Your phenotype is how your bones are expressed in reality, like how you actually look. And essentially, the gray pill is the environment determines everything. And the thing about the environment, though, is it can be manipulated. It has multiple factors, and these multiple factors influence multiple factors of yourself, like your psychology, physiology, and everything else, everything internally and externally. So what do we have to look at? We shouldn't just look at ourselves when determining basically what cards were dealt. We have to look at our past environment. So the environment we grew up in, and the environment we're currently in right now. And a lot of science supports this as well. That's the important thing. Because black pill's biggest argument is that it's science-based. Everything is leaning towards the black pill more and more over time. But the thing is, black pill, just because it accepts the truth doesn't mean the truth can't be changed. The truth is, I'm not saying truth is relative. I'm not relativist in this situation. I don't think science is relative at all. However, the gray pill it's not delusional because the answers are practical. The gray pill provides practical implications. And if the practical implications are followed through experimentally, then the results should determine whether that truth can be changed. So, what do I mean? So theoretically, I think that we can manipulate the environment so much so that we can in fact slow down aging. This is because I don't think death is actually coded into our genes. Our body makes sure that we survive as long as possible to give us the best chance to pass our genes. It just happens to be that the environment was very strong, and we happened to die at a much, our mortality rate was much higher, and we died much sooner previously in the past not because of medical. There was a lack of medical knowledge and science, and now I mean longevity is extremely high. Except for I think we've gotten to the case where we age faster, and we're resorting to things like plastic surgery, supplements, and lots of hoax, pseudoscience kind of stuff to prevent aging, when everything about aging has only to do with being human. See, the gray pill, I think, it's essentially trying to be the most human you can possibly be, meaning doing everything that humans were meant to do, because I believe that there is a reciprocal effect to being human. The more you act as a human, the better. The longer your body, the more your body will thank you for acting human. But what do I mean by acting human? So humans evolved to act a certain way and do certain things and eat certain things and breathe certain things, drink certain things. If we don't do that, if we do the opposite, we evolve. We essentially de-evolve. We do something. We're asking the body to behave in a different way and accept and indulge in different things. It's basically the more we indulge in activities that our ancestors didn't, the less human we become. It's a form of deforming ourselves, but we do it voluntarily. So, the biggest blue pill, in my opinion, is being told that these things we indulge in and our lifestyle that we live, that it's okay, and that it's not going to ruin. It's not going to affect our expression of genes, is the biggest blue pill of them all. I don't think people are born deformed, and I think deformities. Well, my definition of deformities is a lot more. It encompasses a lot more than most people's definition. So, what does this mean? The gray pill basically means that. Tells us that we can change our environment right now. We can manipulate it right now for our benefit. And in doing so, I think you pursue a higher quality of life, and you're pursuing true happiness. What does that include, though? So, I mean, you'll be told like basics of sleep, sunlight, nutrition, and oxygen. But I specifically focus on nitric oxide. That is one of the biggest keys to anti-aging. The higher intake of nitric oxide, just the higher intake of oxygen in general, can be manipulated. It is a manipulatable factor as a human. Why don't we manipulate it? I have no idea. I don't know why no one tells us that you can increase the amount of nitric oxide you breathe in. No one tends to tell you that. Yet it's one of the biggest factors in being a human. So being a human means breathing in nitric oxide, and means breathing in a lot of oxygen. That is essential. And the same thing with sunlight. It's technically a hormone, and the kind of sleep we get is determined on many different factors. And our nutrition, I mean, everyone knows that nutrition isn't, and we're not in the best case right now for nutrition in general. Yeah, but that's a whole other topic. So, what is the goal for anti-aging and the theory of immortality? Should be to have a higher count of cell creation compared to cells dying. We aren't told the factors that increase the rate of death for our cells. Thinking that looks maxing or anything else is gonna you think it's gonna make you more. See, the thing about Blackpill is if you're pursuing living the best quality of life, it doesn't just mean looks maxing. It means so much more. It should mean so much more. Your quality of life is determined by many different factors. But I think the biggest one of them all is the rate we're creating ourselves, and the rate we are, the physical, the ability to be human is one of the biggest factors. And there is no definition of being human. We automatically assume that just because we exist, we are being human. But if you grab a dog and put it in a cage, basically limiting it from all of its capabilities of being able to run and hunt and have its freedom, you're taking away its ability to be a dog. If you make a dog stand upright, you're taking away its ability to walk on all four legs. So you will deform it, and that's just what we're doing to ourselves voluntarily in many different ways. So we need to recognize the bad environmental factors, and yeah, we need to get rid of the biggest blue pill of them all, which is that certain environmental factors in certain environments are okay, and when they're not. So yeah, gray pill is a progressive ideology and has lots of practical implications. And the future of this channel will be about my own philosophy, which is the gray pill. Thank you.